program of World Organization of Students and Youth. As a student leader in 1975, since 70 to nearly 80s, one decade, I led student movement in Vidyarthi Parishad in my city of Pune in Maharashtra. And therefore, I'm more pleased to be here because this is all one thought process which has brought all of us together. I am happy because you are here from nearly 30 countries, 20 countries who are doing their studies, pursuing their studies here. And I could recollect the birth of Symbiosis College and then it became university. There were many African country students coming into Pune University. And one professor started international festivals, organizing international festivals all in a common. So that started the moment of that kind. But that's good. Today I have little time restrictions, but I like to be answering your queries or listen to you because I believe that, and every day therefore I practice, that at least I talk to 10 young minds because they are the brains who give you new ideas and they are the brain where the real innovation happens. And so I like to listen to you all more. So brief comments from me about what happened in Paris. Climate change has become an important issue. Everybody is concerned. Some are unnecessarily frightened. Some are careless. These are two extremes. There was a strong rumor in 2010 that the world will doom in 2012. They gave the date also. What happened actually, we are surviving in 2015 and there was a film called 2012. That did rolling business. So that's one extreme where people believe, and even today the whole discussion says now the Paris Agreement is not ambitious enough because today's INDCs as submitted by all countries, if they are being put together, will cause a rise of temperature to the level of 2.7 Celsius degrees. That's what people say. So they're right. But here you are assuming that science and technology will be static. It doesn't remain like that. And therefore I am eternal optimist. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, thank you. So nice of you. Debate which goes on in our international parlance. America and many countries say that we must give from Paris or any conference a strong signal to the market so that they will invest more in innovation, which will bring a solution. I said, this is not always the process of science, development of science and technology. Louis Pasteur, Archimedes, and all scientists, not only yesteryears, even today, those who invented internet, they never started innovation for the sake of patenting and price and profits. There are scientists who do work. Now professor has submitted me 3 good reports on Belundar Lake and the resultant pollution through it, the reasons through it. He has done it not for profits. He has done because he feels about the country. He feels about the city. He thinks that he has a duty because he has a knowledge and he can analyze, he can see through. And therefore he has done what he has done. That's a tremendous job he has done. That's how things happen. I believe in human intent and human intellect. Both are important. Intelligence only with commercial mind doesn't help. Intent is also important. And there are good people having good intentions to do good things for the betterment of overall society. And therefore, there will science be always be growing, not based on only commercial signals emanating from any conference, but it will grow. And that's the fundamental difference. That whether you are optimist or pessimist, whether you believe that world will doom or whether world will survive. But the problem is real. When I was in schools, the population was 3 billion, now it is 7 billion. Problem is there. For India, we have a typical context. I have 17% of the world's population, human population. We have 17% of cattle population as well. Both require land, water and food. And we have only 2.5% of the world's land mass. We have only 4% of world's fresh rainwater resources. This means that there will be always stress on land and water. And that's what is happening. That's what is panning out all over when you grow in urbanization and grow. Because India was country of 350 million people. 50 years down the lane, now it is 125 crore people, 1250 million. So it has quadrupled, and that's the problem. That's the essential problem. So there will be pressure, but there are way out, and we have come out. So what happened in Paris? In Paris, the main success story is that all 196 countries have agreed and jointly declared that we will walk the greener path and we will take action individually with the common but differentiated responsibility, but everybody will take jointly responsibility because we have to mitigate the challenge posed by climate change. I think that's the big story. 196, because earlier today it is the Kyoto regime on climate change which is being implemented. Last 5 years, from 2020 the Kyoto regime ends. So this is a new agreement, Paris Agreement, paves the way for a new treaty or a new agreement which will be durable for at least 30 years and which will be implemented by all the world. That is important. Because one country acting is not enough. Last time in Kyoto, America walked out, Canada walked out, Japan itself walked out, Australia and New Zealand walked out. So 25% of emission walked out. So what is the use of others doing anything when somebody is doing nothing? So this time 100% emission has agreed that we all will reduce and we all will walk a sustainable growth path. That's the biggest achievement. Second biggest achievement is that there was a pressure and counter pressures. We worked through very effectively, networked with, I became literally, sometimes I felt I met 60 countries during the year. 60 countries, bilaterals, as if I was a branch of foreign ministry. But that is what we had to do. Because ultimately you have to communicate, you have to network, and you have to take people along. So, earlier India was not like that. India was always naysayer, non-communicative, non-combative, non-communicative essentially. And therefore, it got isolated every time. And then last minute, huddle used to happen around India. Oh, please agree, please agree, please agree. And then things used to fall on us post facto without our choice. We changed that, everything. We engage with the world, develop as well as developing. Not only our groupings, BASIC is a basic group. Brazil, South Africa, China and India. It's a very strong grouping. We are 42% of the world. And we are very powerful also. So we all stayed together. Everybody told me that South Africa will walk out. Brazil will go. It's already gone. China has already struck deal with US, so nobody will stand by you. But I said, yes, everybody will stand by us. And we continuously engage with them. And even on the last day, we went to the French presidency, United Nations General Secretary, and all those concerned before finalizing of the script. We said, this is what we want, this is what is acceptable, this is what is unacceptable. In terms of red lines, people used to ask me when we held a press conference for BASIC, people asked me, oh, what are the red lines for BASIC? My usual answer was that red lines, we don't think in terms of red lines, we think only in terms of green lines. So, nobody could challenge. So we never became negative. Nobody can cast aspersion on us. And we became proactive with small island developing countries. I made peace with them. I made friends with them. And I said, I have also 60 islands. I'm a big country. But I have also 60 small islands where people are staying. So I also I'm facing problem. If you are 60 countries as small island developing countries, I have myself 60 small islands, though I am one country. If you are seeds, small island in developing countries, I am beads, big country, but with many small islands. So we engage with SAARC, we engage with least developed world, we engage with Latin American countries, we engage with African Union. And you know, Modi ji is very proactive on all these fronts. The way India's stature has grown internationally, that also impacted. This time, Modi ji gave us only one direction. Don't oppose the idea because climate change is a real problem and we must tackle it. Whatever possible, we must tackle it. And therefore, don't oppose. So I gave my negotiators instruction, don't say oppose, say propose. And you propose. You propose. But what is required is you are required to do more homework, be ready with alternative formulations, and you have to present alternative ideas. But when you are ready with that material and ammunition, then you can present very well, very positively, yes, the problem is real, and I propose that instead of this should be inserted. That's all. That's how we made the difference. So the Indian idiom changed. Prime Minister immediately put two ideas on the table, and international community responded. First time this has happened that India has put some idea and all are got accepted. He said climate justice. People ask, what is climate justice? Climate justice is just climate justice with equity for poorer countries and poorer sections of the world. We are talking of 4 billion people of the world. We are not talking only of India. 4 billion people of the world and hundreds of countries who are suffering because of the climate change that has happened today, for which they are not responsible. As you know, historically today, we are experiencing nearly 1 degree rise of temperature over 1850. But why this has happened? This has happened because of emissions caused since 1850. So last 100 and that unsustainable consumption will require 3 planets. And we don't have that luxury. We have only 1 planet. Or the reduce the emission intensity. Both things are their targets, and whatever targets. This actually is a lifestyle issue, changing mindset. And that is what we are putting. I'll tell you. It is not that we are poor, so we are not using. In India, there are millions of people who can buy cloth dryer. But nobody buys here cloth dryer, and they dry their clothes with solar energy. धूप में सुधारते ना कपड़े, अमीर भी हो या गरीब भी हो, गरीब के पास यंत्र नहीं आ सकता, लेकिन अमीर के पास तो आ सकता है. So, but they don't take because we believe in that solar drying is a better option. In our country, the born child, gets the clothes from his ancestors. One set of clothes is used for 5-6 children. It is not because of poverty. It's built 350 lakes around the city. It's a water conservation, water linkages, and the beautiful water planning for any urban area to sustain. So that is ethos. Indian traditional houses or even Afghanistan traditional houses don't require heater in winter and AC in summer. Traditional rural households, they are better designed. So it is not out of poverty. It is they are the better techniques. They are more sustainable. So it is the lifestyle, it's the mindset, and mindset of developer has to change. And but Afghanistan person also has a right to grow. Everybody has a right to grow, and that growth will increase emission, but with energy efficiency and with reduction of emission intensity. That's the way. That's the way forward. Next. 2 more questions and then I'll take. Oh, there are many answers.
About the problem of phosphates, and all of us know that phosphate is something which we need for our generation next. So can we expect a ban on the use of phosphate in detergents, which is a main problem in Bangalore today, the frothing and the...
Government decisions can't, but this is very important idea which Professor gave me, that our detergents contain more phosphate when there is alternative available, which is cost effective and technologically also better, and it is cleaner. If that's a thing, I will definitely take this issue. I have asked for a note immediately to the concerned department, and like dicloflam, we banned. We will also consider and see what the best practices can be, and therefore we can definitely think of banning phosphate in detergents.
Thank you so much, sir.
Last one question.